In the middle of the sky, an unconscious man is falling at a very fast speed. His name is Royce and he wakes up just in time to open his parachute right before he falls through the trees of a thick jungle and hits the ground, which knocks him out. Seconds later, he wakes up again to discover he doesn't know where he is or how he got there, but at least he still has his mercenary weapons and clothes. At that moment another man falls next to him. Cuchillo, who is part of a Mexican cartel, aims his weapons at Royce, but before they can react a third man falls between them. The group reunites and reaches a simple conclusion: they're being hunted. Those creatures were hunting dogs testing the enemy, and the whistle called them back. The planet is a huge hunting ground and all the beings that are brought in the cages serve as the prey. Suddenly Mombasa notices someone is missing and they hear Cuchillo's voice calling for help among the trees. The group follows the noise and finds Cuchillo on his knees because of severe injuries, so Isabel tries to come closer to help him. However, Royce stops her and says it's a trap, proving it by throwing a stone. Moments later, the group finds a camp and is disgusted by the creepy sight. The bodies of various different races are hanging on stakes and the ground is covered with the remains of various creatures, confirming that not only humans are brought to this planet as prey. At the back of the camp, they're shocked to find a huge ugly creature tied to a stake known as a predator. While Royce notices that Isabel is having a weird reaction to it, Nikolai comes closer and pokes the alien with his weapon, only for the creature to roar at them because it's actually a Royce confronts Isabel about her reaction to the predator, saying she must have seen one before. Isabel admits she's heard a story saying that aliens that look like these ones were seen in 1987 in Guatemala, which is a reference to the first movie. Royce wants to set up a defensive perimeter and force the predators into a choke point, and the others accept to help. They take their positions in the jungle and Isabel notices movement among the trees with her scope, but the enemy isn't attacking them, so Royce thinks they may know about the traps. Suddenly they start hearing a voice and someone appears behind Royce using a cloaking device. The hunter takes off his mask and reveals he isn't a predator, he's actually another human called Noland, who tells them to be less loud to avoid being heard by the hunters. Noland has heard the group since they arrived and after pointing out a storm is coming, he brings them all back to his hideout, which is in an old broken ship. Noland also used to be in the military and was dropped here in a box 10 seasons ago, becoming the only survivor from that batch. Isabel shares with Royce her theory that they were chosen because on Earth they were the predators and therefore monsters too, but Royce is obsessed with finding the ship, and he thinks he could convince the captured predator in the camp to fly it because the enemy of the enemy is a friend. Suddenly smoke begins filling the room and they discover Noland is gone. The door is also blocked, so Edwin thinks Noland must be trying to kill them to steal all their things. While Noland is shown outside fanning the fire, Royce blasts a bomb against the wall that sends Noland running but doesn't even crack the wall. However, Royce wasn't trying to break it, he made noise on purpose to get the attention of a nearby predator. The plan works and soon Noland finds the hallway blocked by a predator, who immediately blows up Noland using lasers. Edwin hears a growl in the darkness and runs away until he finally finds the group again. He begs for help, but the group chooses to leave without him. At that moment, the predator appears in front of Edwin, but before it can attack, Nikolai shows up to help. Edwin runs while Nikolai fights the alien, but he doesn't last long. The predator stabs Nikolai and picks him up with its blade, so Nikolai takes the chance to spit on the alien's face before activating a detonator. The resulting explosion kills them both and a shockwave sweeps through the ship, but the group manages to get out just in time. Hanzo hears they're being followed and tells the others to leave while he stays behind to buy them time. After the remaining trio leaves, Hanzo takes off his jacket and unsheathes his katana just in time to be found by the predator, who takes out its blade as well. A fierce sword fight begins and although Hanzo is pushed away by the alien's strength a few times, he still manages to cut its stomach. After they exchange a few more blows, they attack each other at the same time and both fall to the ground, dying at the same time as well. After a close look, the beast lets go of Royce and picks up its mask to put it back on, activating its equipment. On its arm brace, the predator pulls up a star map of the universe and stops on planet Earth, sealing the deal before calling it spaceship. In the meantime, Isabel is helping Edwin walk, but they end up stepping on a trap and getting caught in a net. The third predator is waiting for them and immediately begins dragging them back to camp, where it throws the humans in a pit before noticing that its alien prey is now free.